Hello and welcome back. I'm Dr. Lori Williams. I help individuals and corporations to create lasting mental and emotional wellness through holistic practices. Today I want to talk to you about how to approach your boss when you find yourself struggling with some sort of a mental health issue. So first and foremost, I do encourage you to have open communication with your employer regarding your mental health if it is affecting you at work. Up until that point, it's not necessary that you do share that information, but if you notice that it's affecting your productivity, or if you are feeling, the beginning stages of feeling burnt out, it's definitely encouraged. I would definitely encourage you to approach your employer and just let them know what's going on, because it's better to have the support very early on, rather than waiting until you're really struggling and then it really starts to have a negative impact on all areas of your life. So first and foremost, you want to know exactly what it is that you need from your employer. What is it that you're looking for? Are you just looking for support? Are you just wanting them to, kind of understand where you're at, what you're struggling with, just to kind of keep those lines of communication open? Are you looking for some flexibility in maybe your workload for a little while? Be very clear on what it is that you are going to your employer with, and what your expectations or what your needs are. From that conversation. You want to make sure that you know what the company policies are around mental health, sick leave, accommodations, things like that. Most employers do have policies in place to help you. Like I said before, it becomes more of a drastic need for time off. It's definitely better to be proactive in having an approach early on when you first start to recognize that you're having some mental and emotional health issues. It's a lot better for you to be able to be very proactive in getting the support that you need as early as possible. One thing you want to make sure of is that you are in a place where you can openly communicate and have this conversation with your employer. So say, for an example, if your boss, your supervisor, whatever title they have, is very busy, obviously it's not going to be a time to pull them aside and talk to them. If they have, a million things going on, or if there's a lot of other people around, it's not necessarily the best time either. So you may have to work with your employer to set up a time that works for them, to allow you to have the private one-on-one and have their full attention as you're having this conversation with them. You do not have to share everything, every aspect of what you're struggling with. You definitely want to make sure that you are sharing how it's affecting your work, because in the long run, that's where your employer has that invested interest. So they, obviously they want you to be 100%, especially if you're running machinery or things like that and you're really struggling mentally. It may be best for your safety and for other people's safety as well to maybe not have you run that machinery for, a week or two until mentally you are in a better place to be able to get back into your normal routine. You want to make sure that you have the support that's going to help you function and get through the struggles that you're facing as easily as possible. You want to be very, very clear and very direct. Like I said, you don't have to give them your whole life story. It's not that they don't care. It's not pertinent to the situation. So keep it to what you're struggling with in regards to how it is going to affect your work directly. And make sure that your employer understands that you want to keep it private. Usually that goes without saying, but I think it's, just for your own peace of mind, just to make sure that you do understand, or that that they understand that this is a personal issue and that you want to be kept personal. The other thing that I always suggest for my clients to do, and this is for the benefit of both parties, is anything that has been agreed upon to make sure that it is written down, that it is and signed by both parties. So say, for an example, especially if there's a change in the workload, what the change is and how long that change is going to last is definitely things that need to be very clearly communicated and agreed upon. And then it saves any kind of confusion down the road. Joe may say, oh, well, I thought I had 2 weeks off, and the employer saying, no, you only have one. And it was just misunderstood. So it is a benefit for both parties to make sure, open communication, honest communication is, to put it in writing is definitely helpful for both parties. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you back here next time.